Hello everyone, Saurabh here. So this is my first video where I'm going to talk about technical writing. I have 5 years of experience in this profession, and recently I encountered a lot of messages in my LinkedIn account of the people who want to make their career transition into technical writing, or somebody who wants to build their career in this domain. And every single time I have to text the same message, huge bombarding of paragraphs to them, writing the same thing. So I decided, okay, let's shoot one video, so next time if somebody needs some help, they can just watch this and get their all doubts cleared into a single place. So after this video, I'm sure that you don't have to watch any other video which is not even there, but I hope like this one video will solve all your doubts and will help you to make that transition. So let's get started. So the first thing you need to do is you have to have a clear idea about what technical writing is, and what is the role and importance of a technical writer into any organization, and more than that, the importance of the documentation. Like what is even worth of documentation in a software company or in any IT company which is based on a software. So any software, okay, even your basic mobile application, they have user interface, right? And anyone who uses applications or product, they need some guidance, and that's when we use user guides, right? And that is just one example of a technical documentation. Similarly, you want to install some software or some tools into your browser or your uh, desktop or your laptop. So you need some set of instructions, and that is instruction manual. Or if you encounter some problems or error with your uh, again your software or any product, then you need some manual, and we call it troubleshooting guide. So these are some of the most common example of technical documentations that all of us encounter in our daily lives, and there are many more obviously, but these are the ones which we are all familiar with. And if you have ever observed these documentations, they are written in a very precise and a structured way, right? Because they have followed some standard practices which we call as style guides. So these are some predefined rules in the technical writing industry of for writing anything, any technical information in such a way that it looks very symmetrical, consistent, and clear to everybody. So we call them style guide, which is a very important part of your learning journey. And the next part of this the whole journey or your roadmap are going to be tools which you will use as a technical writer for producing the documentation, but we will come back to that later. So I hope like you have understood like what are the types of documentations. So now let's understand the role and importance of it. So a technical writer is obviously responsible for producing this set of documentations, but they just don't happen right and without any help, or just uh, right away, okay? They have to go through certain process, because you are a writer, you are an excellent writer, communicator, but you also require some training, right? You cannot just manifest the information in your head and then start writing like you're writing some novel or fictional stories. So first you spend a lot of time with the product. When you join any company, you go through all the demo videos, and conduct regular meetings with the subject matter experts and the product managers, even the developers, to get their thought process about the product and how the product actually works. You also try to use it yourself if it is some application or software, and that gives you an entire what you call the detailed understanding about the product, and then you actually start working on your initial draft. So there is a set of process, we call it agile process, And there are also other methods, but this one is the most common one. And in every organization, the strategies are different, but the process somehow looks the same. This is also known as a DDLC, documentation development life cycle, where in the first stage you collect the information, you research about the product, and then you start working on your first draft, and then you review the documentation with your peers, with your quality engineers and SMEs, or whoever is the reviewing authority available to you, even the customer as well. And then once the documentation is reviewed, then obviously we publish that, and in the future releases there will be some updations, so we keep maintaining that. And that is the entire process of how you maintain the documentation in any organization. And these documentations are usually customer facing documentations, but there can also be some internal documentation, which includes API documentation or any software specification documentations which internal team of any organization requires. You may also have heard about business analyst. They also produce some documentations called BRDs, business requirement. And there are various such types of documentations which the people of the company consume. And then user guide is something which is the most popular form of documentation for external documentations. And so as a tech writer, you're obviously responsible for producing both of these documentations. Obviously, when you have the right data with you, then it becomes quite easier. And so when you actually start working on your documentation, so that's when the style guide comes, which I talked about earlier. So so style guide is, I mean, if you have heard about MSTP, Microsoft Style Guide, which is also a like a Bible, which I should say, because Microsoft is one of the biggest tech giant. They had been in the industry for over like 30 to 35 years. And okay, just correct me if I'm wrong. And so they understood the customers. Windows is their product, and everybody have used it. The whole generations, the previous generations, they have used it, so they have a huge experience and stories to tell. So they understand like what works and how to communicate with their users, and how to present the technical information in such a way that it gives them a fantastic experience. And that is something which they have documented in the MSTP. And so if your company has your own practices or style guide, then that's great. Otherwise, we all have to follow. I mean, it's a good practice to adopt the principles of Microsoft Style Guide to make your writing impactful, clear, precise, and consistent. So all these are the principles of great technical documentation. So now I think you have understood enough about the industry and what exactly you will have to do as a technical writer. So now let's come to the main point, that how you can make your transition. So I mean, if you are a fresher, then the best way for you is to get a degree into technical writing. There are universities who are offering these degrees, but I would suggest to not go for them, because at the end of the day, they are not experts in tech writing, and they are not going to teach you the exact things which you will require. So most of the candidates who are in the industry, they are either from engineering background, or some are from mass communication, or MA literature, or any journalism degrees. So you can also opt for the same. And first you have to see like whether you are really interested in this profession, because if you think, okay, I'm interested in writing, so I think I should do this, then I'm sure that is not the right motivation, because after a certain time you'll get bored, because most of the time you're not even writing, you're just spending a lot of time with the product, with the team, communicating different ideas. And the writing part is very less, and even when you write, it is not very creative. You don't really have a freedom. You're obviously writing with some goal in your mind, that whatever I'm writing is not to impress people, but to help them solve certain types of problems. And that is not really a creative process. Okay, it is a very structured and you know intellectual form of writing, I would say. So you have to be very clear with your goals, and even if you say, okay, I'm very passionate about the product, then of course for that, then you also have some other professions like product manager, product designers, business analyst. But I mean, if you're really interested to, you know, be committed to writing the same type of information every single day, and more than that, if you are passionate about, you know, talking to different people and understanding their thought process, and getting the right information, extracting them by asking the right question, and then converting into a writing piece which will help the customers, then obviously that is the right attitude before coming into this technical writing. So yeah, I mean, once you have all those things clear in your head, then obviously, like, yeah, but I believe like most of the people are not freshers, they are usually some corporate professionals who already have some experience, and now they want to make this transition into technical writing. So for them, you don't really have to be worry about starting from the scratch, because you can just mention things in your resume related to technical writing and showcase your interviewer that you already have some sort of experience, even not the entire, about the technical writing. And also, if you have some samples to present, then that is going to make them believe on you. So this is how you can, you know, directly jump from your current profession to the next one without starting from scratch. So even your salary will be the same, and you will get some hike, so you don't have to start from the beginning. And that is how that is your first step. Okay, so the first step is updating your resume, working on your resume. In your resume, you have to present in your past experiences that you not only have done your actual job, but you also have produced or coordinated or associated your uh, efforts into producing some documentations. You have some contribution, and you also have some samples to present them so that they can take you seriously. That is the first thing. And next is you have to start building your network on LinkedIn. You can approach people who are already working in the industry, and then showcase your work so you can get the live feedback from the experts, and they can correct you so you get more perspective. And also along this process, you might also get the opportunities, but the chances are very less. You will only get it from applying the jobs. Okay, but that experience of interacting different people and talking about your work, so that will give you some more suggestions and ideas to improve yourself. And that is going to be the next step. And third one is obviously attending the interviews. So you might have to face a lot of rejections at the initial stage of your journey, but in every rejections, you are going to learn something about the industry. Okay, you will get some clarity that what each company is looking for, what are the requirements, and you will also notice the frequencies of some repeated questions, so you can prepare against it the next time you attend any interviews. And that is going to be a learning curve for you. So after some rejections, you will definitely get placed somewhere else. And the most ideal place for a technical writer is to work in some, you know, MNCs, uh, especially the product based companies. But you might not be fortunate enough to get that chance in the first place. So first you will obviously try at some mid-level organizations or even some startups who are looking for writers. uh, but you know, once you get that experience, then obviously you can build upon it, and then the next journey is very much easier. So your entire struggle is only to find that first job, because once you get that, then the next journey is not going to be rocket science. You will immediately get that context. Okay, what should I do next and next, and that is just how it's going to be. So in order to get that first job, like I said, you have to update on your resume. And you can also, you know, send me your resume on my LinkedIn or on my email ID. I will provide that in the description. and so that I can give you some personalized feedback. And next step is to start building your own portfolio on Gitbook. And but even if you don't want to, get into that complexities, you can just normally create that in the Microsoft Word, and then publish this documentation into some repository which you can show at the time of interview. I mean, it should be handy. That's the idea. Otherwise, you can do it anywhere. That's not an issue. And the third step is obviously approaching people, and at the same time simultaneously applying in every single job portal, especially on LinkedIn, to get your first job. So once you do all those activities, then I'm sure it's not going to be very much difficult, right? So yes, I think I have given you uh, enough information. I talked about how what are the types of documentations and what is the role and responsibility of a technical writer, and what is the right attitude for starting your career into technical writing. And once you're sorted with everything, then how you can you know make those steps to get here. So yeah, that's it. I hope I have explained everything, but obviously I was not prepared for this, so there may be a lot of things which I might have missed. So you can ask me the questions which you still might have, and if I have missed something, then obviously I will make another video where I will address all those things individually. And yeah, just stay tuned with my channel, because in the future I'm also going to provide some training about different skills in technical writing, so that will help you in your job interview preparation. So that's it for this video, and see you next time.